about spirometry, and at the end of my lecture, you have homework, and you should calculate the different values in spirometry. But can you tell me that what is the spirometry? Before I talk about this, what's the spirometry? Spirometry is a method to evaluate the function of the lung. Inside of the lung, we have different volumes and different capacities. In addition to these volumes and capacity, you can find other parameter inside of the spirometry. And in this session, I will talk about this remaining parameter in addition to volume and capacity. For example, FEV1, FVC. By detail, I will talk about this. So, at first, how we can do the spirometry? As told before, for spirometry, we need special instrument by the name spirometer. At now, you can find two different types of spirometer. Basical and physiological spirometer in experimental study, and another advanced or high-tech spirometry in clinic. No, here I want to talk about basical and physiological spirometer. This instrument is very simple when I want to compare with the advanced and high-tech spirometer. In this spirometer, you can see this spirometer here. In this spirometer, you can see three different cylinders. One main cylinder is double one, another the inverted cylinder by the name of floating drum, and another cylinder for recording. You have three cylinders. The main cylinder, the inverted cylinder by the name floating drum, and the recording cylinder. But the main cylinder, as you see here, this main cylinder is double wall cylinder. Between two walls, you can find a space. This space is filled by water. This main and core cylinder is hollow, and at first we should fill by the air or by the oxygen. From this, from this main cylinder, we have a connective tube. End of this connective tube used by the patient. Patient use from this tube for inhalation, exhalation. Okay, so the second cylinder or the floating drum is a hollow cylinder that inverted and put on the main cylinder. But at the top of this cylinder, you can find a string of chain. This string of chain passes through the pulley, and at the end of this string, we use a weight. By this weight, we perform the balance between this weight and the drum. At the middle of this chain, we have a recorder pen. This recorder pen is near to the another cylinder third. This cylinder third is the same recording drum. Around of this cylinder, we load the specific paper. In specific paper, we can record the different volumes and different capacities. So briefly, at first we should close the nose of the patient, and at the end of this tube you can see mouthpiece. by the mouth, the patient does the inhalation, exhalation, normal, deep, and what we want from the patient. Okay, so tell me that what happened during the patient want to have a want to have a, have a inhalation. What happened? By inhalation, a part of this oxygen or the air goes
goes to
into
the
the
mouth, to the
lung of
lungs.
the patient. And for this, the amount of air inside of the main cylinder decreases.
Increase.
What happened? The inverted drum goes downward, goes downward. By going downward,
The
this
recording
strength
pen.
go upward, and the pen
Record.
goes upward. And by this
Record.
can record a curve upward. Opposite to this, when by this tube
Exhalation.
exhalation, what happened? By exhalation, the extra volume from the line goes into this cylinder. What happened on the floating drum? This floating drum go
Go up.
upward. When go upward, what happened on this string?
Go
This
downward.
chain go
Go
downward. And what happened? The
The
pen
pen record
can
downward.
record a downward curve. Upward curve for inhalation,
Downward
downward
for
curve for
exhalation.
exhalation. By this, we can record the spirogram. We can do spirometry. Okay, so as you see here, there are many factors that affect the spirometry, internal and external. Internal means that the spirometry in women and in men is different together. And you should know that all volumes and all capacity in women is less than men. How much? 20% of volume and capacity in women is less than men. The sex, the age, the height, the ethnic origin. These are the internal variable, internal factor that affects the spirometry. The external, the temperature, and we should control this temperature by using a table. Next, by detail, I will talk about this. Atmosphere, vapor pressure, humidify, and other factors. But for this session, we should calculate two important factors. The first, the volume and capacity that I talked about them before. Tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory reserve volume, and by using of them, you should calculate the vital capacity. So, the first part of this class, by using this spirometer, you should calculate tidal volume, inspiratory reserve volume, expiratory, and vital capacity. For example, you can see here, you should know that the recording drum or cylinder has a rotation. And this rotation speed can be regulated by us. And it's better we set this rotation speed on 2 centimeter per each second. 2 centimeter per each second. Okay, this rotated cylinder can record the spirogram. Before I talk about this, the first is that after this, at first, ask patient that has a normal and quiet inhalation. After this, immediately normal and quiet exhalation. At the end of exhalation, again you ask
For
the
forced
patient
inhalation.
has deep and
For
forceful
forced
inhalation and
deep
deep and
and
forceful
forceful
exhalation.
exhalation.
And here you can see the curve
And
at first for tidal volume.
normal and
The
forced.
upward
Inhalation.
relates to inhalation.
Inhalation.
The downward exhalation.
Exhalation.
Inhalation normal, normal exhalation, normal inhalation, exhalation. And here, by deep exhalation, you can have ERV, expiratory reserve volume. You remember this? What was ERV? Told that ERV is the same expiratory reserve volume at the end of normal and quiet expiration using a muscles. Which muscles? Internal intercostal rectus abdominis. We can have deep and forceful inhalation. And by this, in normal condition, 1.1 of the air can go out of the lung. This volume is named expiratory reserve volume. Before, by detail, I talked about this. Opposite to this, at the end of normal inhalation, using the other inspiratory muscle contraction. Which muscle? External intercostal, sternocleidomastoid, serratus, and scalenus. Muscle, you can have deep and forceful inspiration or inhalation. So the downward relates to ERV and the upward relates to IRV. IRV is the inspiratory reserve volume, means that after the normal inhalation, by deep and forceful inhalation, we can have extra volume about 3, if you remember, 3 liter. 3 liter. So, is the first. And by these volumes, we can measure the vital capacity or no? Yes, we can. Why? Because vital capacity is the combination of tidal volume, IRV, and ERV. If you remember, told before that, spirometry is done by 2 ways, direct and indirect. Direct is this. By normal or deep and forceful inhalation and exhalation, we can measure, we can record some of the volume or capacity, which tidal volume, ERV, IRV, vital capacity, and inspiratory capacity. The second is the first work for this session is that we should calculate the tidal volume, the IRV, the ERV, and vital capacity. And you should know that the vital capacity should be compared with a normal range. And for this, we have two specific tables. This table is named predicted vital capacity. Predicted vital capacity means that the normal range for vital capacity. And for men and for women is different. Here you can see the male predicted vital capacity. Predicted, for example, I open this and you look at this table. In this table, you can see the height and the age. Height in vertical column. In vertical column is height. Height 148 centimeter of height for a man. And here 172. In column, in the first column, you can see the height. In horizontal, you can see the age. For example, you calculated the vital capacity of man, a male patient. In male patient, for example, this male patient has an age about 25 and has a height about 170. The sex size is man and the height is 170. At first, 170 is this. And 25 and 100 is this. So the predicted vital capacity for this man is 50 40. 50 40. Okay,
Yes.
so we should find this normal vital capacity from the table if the patient is male from the man predicted vital capacity. If the patient is female from the woman predicted vital capacity. But which range is normal? For example, here 50, 50, 40 and 50, 40. You assume that. Consider, for example, I did the spirometry for a male patient by 25 years and by height of the 170 centimeters. Okay. And for example, the vital capacity of this patient is about 6,000 milliliter, for example. Now I want to calculate that this vital capacity is normal or no, is not normal. Okay? It's better I reduce this. For example, is high. For example, the vital capacity of this patient is 4,900 liter or 4.9 liter. Is normal or is not normal? No, it's normal. Maybe it's normal. Why? Because at first you should change this normal value 80% till 120%. 80% of this value is, if possible, please calculate. 80% of 50 40.
شوفوا 80% من 50 40 ايش بتطلع؟ اكتبوا 0.8 في هذا رقم 50 40.
40 32.
40
32.
32. Okay. 30 42. And then 120% more than this.
هسه
And
كتبوا
is
120 هاي
40
نسبة
50
يطلع 1.2
is
في 50 40 يطلع 6048. لازم العدد اللي طلع يكون بين الفترتين هذا طبيعي. تمام؟
you select this point from man predicted vital capacity by using of 25 years and by this height. We reach to this point. But this point is not enough to us. We should change this point to 80% till 120%. 20% less and 20% more than this. 20% less than this and 20% more than this. Plus minus 20% of this. Means that the predicted vital capacity in normal range should be between 40, 32 and 60, 38. So I put this or this here. 40, 900.
It's normal.
Okay, is normal or is not normal?
Normal.
Is normal. When I compare by this is not normal, is less, but the way the calculation should be done between these values, 20% less than and 20% more than this. By this you can judge that this vital capacity is normal or is not normal. Okay, so at first vital capacity, the tidal volume, the IRV, the ERV, and the vital capacity. But the second point is very important to us. Before told that, the temperature has effect on spirometry. The environmental temperature affects the spirometry. And for this, again, we should calibrate it, this temperature, by using another for example, I want to complete these again. Here I wrote two parameters for the patient. The patient at first is male, and for this we should use from male predicted vital capacity or man predicted. The first is male. Second, the age is 25. The height is 170, and the temperature of the environment, for example here, is 20 degrees Celsius. For this, we should use from this table. For the 20 degrees Celsius, you should use from this coefficient. For example, if the vital capacity is, for example, here 4.5. At first, you should correct this vital capacity according to the temperature table. In temperature table, for 20 degree is 1.109, and for this 4.5 multiplied by 1, and by this you can calculate the actual vital capacity. So, for correction of temperature, you should use from temperature table and the coefficient of the same temperature. After this, for the determine and judge about normality or anormality of the vital capacity, you should use from the predicted vital capacity. Depends on the sex, male or female. The third, this point should be calculated 20% less and 20% more, between 80% till 120%. When the vital capacity by the temperature coefficient is between 80% and 120%, we can say that is normal. This is the first work for this session. The second, again, now I want to talk about a new parameter. Inside of this new parameter, you can find two important factors that affected by different disorders such as asthma, such as bronchitis, such as emphysema, such as fibrosis. These parameters is named FEV1, FEV1, and FVC. FVC is the same vital capacity, but for vital capacity, told that we have the deep and forceful exhalation after the deep and forceful inhalation. But in addition to deep and forceful, you should have a very high speed. By very high speed, you should have deep and forceful. This type of vital capacity is named forced vital capacity. Forced vital capacity amount is the same vital capacity. But what is the FEV1? It's the forced expiratory volume in the first second. In the first second means that, for example, in this sample you can see, at the end of tidal volume, the patient has a deep exhalation and inhalation. At the end of deep inhalation, ask that has a deep and forceful exhalation. This exhalation is this. And from this exhalation, 80% should expel during the first 1 second. This volume is named FEV1. So for calculation, we use from this ratio, FEV1 to FVC. And in normal range, this ratio should be more than 80%. 80%. Again, after the deep and forceful inhalation, you should have forceful and deep exhalation. From this point till this point is the same vital capacity. But which type of vital capacity? Forced vital capacity. At the first second of this forced vital capacity, 80% of this volume of the air should go out of the lung. 80%. How we can indicate 80% by using this ratio FEV1 to FVC. For example, if FVC is, for example, 5,000. For this, again, we should use from the temperature coefficient. For all volume, you should use from temperature coefficient. For example, here is 5,000. And how much air should go out of the lung in normal condition? At least 80% of this. 80% is 4,000. 4,000 to this is 80%. If FEV1 is less than 4,000, we say that FEV1 to FVC decreases and indicate the asthma condition. Okay? So, من یه هامورکی براشون میفرستم، کمکشون هم میکنم. براتون فرستادم. براشون یه